Robert, one of the oldest expressions in the business of horse racing, or life for that matter, is the luck of the draw. And for you as a professional, how important is it before you decide to part with your hard-earned cash?
Andrew, it depends on the course where you run in. Kenilworth, new course, I don't think the draw is of any importance here whatsoever. Having said that, a horse like Marinaresco, I think a draw for him was vital. He's not drawn badly this time. He won't be out the back door. From a two-gate, he should be reasonably placed, and that will make the world of difference for him.
The element of irony is that I spoke to Candice Robinson immediately before the running of the Lormerans Queen's Plate, and she said, you know what, I actually don't know what to do anymore. Every time the machine gives us a bad draw, but I'm hopeful that when things are done manually that we could get lucky.
Yeah, Andrew, look here, the run wasn't the greatest in the Queen's Plate. Let's be honest, he was too far out of his ground. But having said that, Sail South was behind him and passed him in the straight, and that is a cause for concern. Having said that, Marinaresco is clearly a much better horse over 10 furlong, as evidenced by his run over 2,200 in the July, finishing unlucky second, and of course he's winning the Champions Cup subsequent to that. So certainly a mile is not his preferred trip.
There's also a measure of conjecture as to how rough the race was in the Lormerans Queen's Plate. Do you think it was a straightforward race and he was just a victim of the pace?
Andrew, it may not have been a straightforward race, but at the end of the day he had every chance to run on in the straight, so I don't see that as any issue whatsoever. I mean, what, so he would have finished another half a length closer. At the end of the day, we're dealing with semantics here.
So his run in the Green Point Stakes was a superb run. Would it be put down to just a little flat spot in his training preparation, bearing in mind that 5 million rand is the richest race in South Africa, and that was his goal?
In all probability, Andrew, yes. I mean, you go look back in history, there are a lot of horses who haven't won the Queen's Plate and come out and won the Met. I mean, Past Masters, one example, who ran unplaced and subsequently won the Met. You know, Marinaresco, his run in the Green Point, again, I think he was too far out of his ground because he made up a lot of ground in the straight and looked like with 100 to go he was going to run past Legal Eagle, but then of course he just got tired, having made up, you know, a considerable amount of ground. That's why I say that I think the draw is vital for him. He shouldn't be that far behind Legal Eagle this time.
When you arrived at the racecourse for the Lormerans Queen's Plate, you said to me categorically, I think Legal Eagle will win even further. Is he the horse to beat? Is he at his very best over 10 furlongs?
Well, Sean Terry says he's better over 10 furlongs. He's had 3 runs over 10 furlongs for 2 wins and a second. But the fact of the matter is he's unbeaten in 5 starts over a mile. So personally, I think he's better over a mile, but that doesn't mean that 2,000 metres is not within his compass. I'll never forget Anton Marcus telling me last year, after riding Smart Call in her final workout before the Met, that he hasn't ridden a horse that's given him that feel since Empress Club, who he regards as the best horse that he's ever ridden, as does Felix Coetzee. So I think that puts it in perspective. Was beaten 2 lengths by Smart Call such a bad run after all?
How far back was the third horse? And he's always had the measure of Captain America, I think, fair to say.
Yeah, I think Captain America is clearly a better mile, and certainly wherever they finish, I think he'll finish in front of him.
Okay, I just want to touch on Whiskey Baron, because obviously he's a horse that's no more than a half a length inferior to Marinaresco on their collateral form, and he's a horse that's admittedly been brought through the soft route, but he looks like he's the real deal.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest improver in the race, Andrew. He was beaten, as you say correctly, just under half a length in the Winter Guineas and the Winter Classic by Marinaresco. Having said that, Marinaresco did win with a bit in hand on both occasions, but that was at level weights. He's now getting 4 pounds, so if you think Marinaresco is a runner, which he certainly is, Whiskey Baron has to be. And coupled with that is that he's drawn 8, Anton on Legal Eagle has drawn 9. And I see Whiskey Baron latching onto Legal Eagle. That'll be the right horse to pull him through.
Finally, the Snaiths are about as jammy as you get when it comes to the draw. They once again pulled the rabbits out of the hat, and obviously they're represented by all of Bella Bella, It's My Turn, and Baritone, all nice draws and top-class help from the saddle.
Yes, Andrew, look here, if it was my horse, I would have gone for the Mallorca. She was a shoe in there. It's a Group 1, adds value to her stud pedigree and value. I just think that she's going to struggle with 57 on her back. That 2 kg penalty she got for winning the Paddock Stakes in all probability is going to count against her.
But I think the Kelmansons want to have a horse that's in the most prestigious race in the country. Maybe that's their thinking because they've already had glory in Grade 1 restricted races. I would think that was their mindset.
Yeah, I understand that, coupled with the fact that you're looking at a 5 million stake versus a 1 million stake. So, yes.
You've got to have a chance.
Yeah. Look, I think barring those 4 horses, the only other runner that possibly comes into the equation is the 3-year-old Gold Standard. But you must remember that he doesn't race off that 108 rating. The weight for age allowance is 6 kilos. So he actually runs off a net 96. So he's 2 pounds out at the weights with Bella Bella. He's 2 pounds out with Whiskey Baron. He's 3 pounds out with Marineresca. And as much as 11 pounds out with Legal Eagle. So he's got to be much better than his rating if he is to come into the equation. Certainly if he'd run in the Cape Derby, he would have been a massive danger to Horizon.
How are you going to structure your pick 6 with regard to the Sun Met?
I'm just going to take 3 horses, Legal Eagle, Marineresca and Whiskey Baron. For me, it's very hard to look past those 3. If you just go down the line in the betting, as I said, I think Bella Bella's going to struggle with the 2 kg penalty. The 3-year-old is out at the weights, and after that you've got It's My Turn. It's My Turn got beaten 2.5 lengths in the Peninsula by Whiskey Baron. He's now 2 pounds worse off at the weights as well. And he meets a horse like Marineresca at level weights. He's 9 pounds out with him. So, you know, all things being equal, if you look at the race holistically, it does look like a 3-horse race.
And Horse Chestnut has picked it up early. He's gone clear. Pheromond is coming home out after him. Savannah Queen towards the outside. 200 out, and Horse Chestnut has it safe. He's well clear. Savannah Queen and Pheromond are trying, but they're chasing shadows. It's Horse Chestnut. This is true greatness. He's killing them in the JMB Met. Horse Chestnut goes on to win it well.
Badger's Coast, Horse Chestnut immediately come to mind as 3-year-olds that have won the Met. This is the inaugural running, South Africa's richest race, and you're riding arguably the best 3-year-old in the country over 2,000 meters. Are you happy with his prep, and how do you think you're going to shape up against the big guns?
Well, if you didn't see him this morning, he's just as big as the big guns, and we decided not to gallop him because I actually galloped him 2 weeks ago. He had a very, very hard gallop over 2,000 meters. So, you know, he just jarred himself a little bit because the track is really tough. So we didn't want to take chances and gallop him again and just irritate the niggles, you know. So all good horses come with their little problems, but he's sound, he's good. Mr. Cotson's very excited about him. He's doing well, and the fact that he's carrying 52 is a saving grace. His times have been very good. He's done nothing wrong. And you know, when I won on him in the Grade 2 race, they went quite a bit of a trip, and the class prevailed. He ran past Table Bay and those horses, and you know, he hit the line really, really hard. And going into this race, he's been crying for the distance. When I galloped him, he loved it. I went a good gallop, and from the mile I joined another horse, so you know, there was always a good tempo, and it was just a good hard gallop, and you know, he couldn't blow out a candle. So the horse is in the right frame of mind. He's carrying 52. He's got a 4 draw. You know, everything's just going for him, and Glenn Cotson's yard is firing at the moment. They've done nothing wrong. The strike rate's so high between the 2 of us.
And Richard Fourie is firing.
Yeah, I'm firing full go. All cylinders are hot and running, and I'm ready for a challenge.